Hi, welcome back to Spoken Cheltenham. Hope you're good. Yeah, been a bit of a quiet week this week on the racing front, but it all gets going again today, doesn't it? Main news to take from the week from an ante-post point of view is Iroko's out for the season. Uh, it's a blow for connections, that's a shame for them. He'd have been a huge player, I think, wherever he went at Cheltenham. He looked a kind of bomb-proof Cheltenham contender. The likes of Willie Mullins and Gordon Elliott and Yannicki's, they've got huge squads, but you know, these fellas, he's like the main guy, isn't he? They've got some nice horses, but he's their flag bearer, so a bit of a blow for them. But we should get to see him again next year. So he's out of the Turners and the Browns reckoning. One horse that kind of threw his hat into the ring yesterday, Classical Dream. Yeah, I like this horse. Jumped like a seasoned handicapper, just led all the way. And yeah, I wouldn't like to say where this horse might be going at Cheltenham too much. I like the horse. Um, did me a good favour in the Supreme once upon a time. Yeah, I backed him. I backed him last year to beat Honeysuckle in the Hatton's Grace first time out. Yeah, first time I took Honeysuckle on for a good while. I just thought maybe it's the time. And yeah, I remember phoning my dad after the race and I was like, oh my god, I beat a legend and got done by a fucking teapot. That's kind of where the teapot thing came from. But yeah, good horse. Always kind of struggled to get home, over the stiff 3 mile in the Stayers trip. I would have thought if they were like a 2.5 mile hurdle at Cheltenham, a grade 1 2.5 mile hurdle, I'd have thought maybe he'd have been in that by now. As such, maybe the Turners would be the race for him. Over that mid-trip over fences, I do like an horse. We've seen it time and time again. Like, can race aggressively from the front, and he's got that stamina in the bank there. Yeah, out of the three, I'd favour that one. Perversely, now this sounds a bit weird because I don't know, the 3 mile of the Browns, it's on the easier track, isn't it, than the Stayers, so you'd think maybe just about get away with that. But it does tend to turn into a little bit of a war of attrition, that race. And kind of perversely, I prefer the 3 mile 6, the 4 miler for him. I don't know, maybe I've kind of lost the plot a bit here, but it don't make much sense on the face of it if he struggles to say 3. But I just think in that race, he could go round in second gear there, he'd be just doing like a half speed the whole way round, and maybe he could get away with that. But yeah, I won't hurt my head too much trying to figure it out at the minute, but he's certainly thrown his hat into the ring there. Well, he's amazing. I mean, he's going to be 10, and I can't help it. I'm kind of against these older guys in these novice chasers. It's just, but Willie, I mean, he nearly did it with Faheen, didn't he? Sharjah's looked good. Yeah, he's got some class there. He's a contender anyway. Right then. Yeah, if it's been a bit slow this week, the ride certainly cranks up a gear or two today. The ride continues. Fairy House 12:20, so a few races here I'll give a quick mention to. You've probably seen these already. Better days ahead. Yeah, fell when going well at Down Royal last time. This looks a bit of a penalty kick for him. I'd imagine he'll throw his hat into the Albert Bartlett ring today. But really the big one today, is the 12.55 Mr. Policeman, 2 mile beginners. All eyes will be on Mr. Policeman. We've had 1 point on this fella for the Turners. Now, I gave this guy a good mention months ago now, and we put him in our 10 to follow. I think he were 20s for the Turners. You can get 25s now. Since then, he's been smashed into 8 to 1. Single figures for the Arkle, his third favourite. And I've kind of got mixed feelings about this now today, because I guess he's probably the only horse I think in training that can push Facile Vega out to the Turners. You know, but yeah, we'll see. I'd expect him to win well today. The race, it's not like Facile Vega's race. It's not got like Grade 1 winners there to beat. He should win, and he should win well today. But yeah, be interesting to see how it goes anyway. We did have that small cover bet, didn't we? Through a bit of change at the kind of upside down double 100 to 1 it were at the time for Mr. Policeman in the Arkle and Facile Vega for the Turners, because I kind of think the only way Facile Vega would go in the Turners is if Willie thinks this fella's a penalty kick for the Arkle. So that bet kind of makes it, if you're like heavily invested in Facile Vega for the Arkle, I think the odds are a fair bit shorter now, but you'd still be getting upwards of 50 to 1, I think, for the double. Might be just worth a little double, because I think the only way that could happen is if Willie thinks this is a penalty kick for the Arkle, and Facile Vega will just win wherever he goes. So yeah, that's how we played that. Ascot 12.15, Welcome to Countries. This is another horse off that point-to-point list. I had a little bit on him. He's been backed in from 9 to 4 to round about even money, I think. That seems a bit short, I'd say now. I only had a bit on him. Looks a hot enough race, but yeah, well regarded, and it'll be interesting to see how he gets on. Tomorrow then. Right. I must say, looking through these cards, I kind of think if last Saturday were one for us punters, the bookies might be after getting a bit of it back this Saturday. I'd kind of tread a bit more carefully this weekend, I think. Punchestown, 12.48, Gaelic Warrior. Yeah, 2 mile 3 beginners here. You can afford to jump sideways here, can't he, at Punchestown? The track should be ideal for him. It's 1 from 1. And really, he's just lining up against a field of handicappers here. He should be taking this and taking it well. We've got an epic song. Yeah. Be interesting to see how he goes. I said possibly a plate horse this. Cool Survivor, probably end up in handicaps. Figure Rock is a horse, if you remember now, we had him in the 10 to follow, put him in as for handicaps over hurdles. He's going chasing. Maybe, yeah, he'd be one for handicaps too. I know the way you're thinking. It'd be interesting. He's tongue-tied for the first time. He seemed to come home strongly enough the last day, didn't he? But yeah, I think he might have a big handicap in him down the line. So this will be a fascinating race. I'd imagine we'll look back on this plenty of times through the season. And yeah, we'll see how Gaelic Warrior gets on. So he can jump sideways here. He'll be alright. So we'll see. I imagine he'll go on from this. Maybe they'll go the Limerick race. Keep him to 2.5 right-handed at Christmas. But yeah, anyway, as a betting, yeah, he won't be a betting proposition really. I think it'll be about 2 to 5 around there. The 123, the 3 mile grade 2 Florida Pearl. This is a cracking race, this. Alright, we've got Flooring Porter in here. Yeah, gonna have a bet in this race. I'm gonna take on Flooring Porter. He's gonna be favourite. He has won right-handed, but I think he's better left-handed, it's fair to say. And he may be overbet just because I think he may be flattered a little bit with that form with Broadway Boy. Obviously, you know, a literal reading of that form reads really well, but I do think Broadway Boy's on a steep upward curve. I think he's improving plenty. And I'd say if those two met again tomorrow, I'd be favouring Broadway Boy to turn it around with him. So yeah, I'm going to take on Flooring Porter here. We've got Churchstone Warrior. It's his first run of the season. He's got to give the field £5. He'll improve from this. Affordale Fury. He covers February de Champeau on the last running. Maxim jumped like a fucking wardrobe last time, didn't he? I couldn't be having him. Quilixios, he didn't jump great either. It's his second run back from a long layoff. Could maybe bounce a little, possibly. And in any case, that form we call Survivor for me, it isn't up to the level of, say, Affordale Fury and Sandor Clegane. And these are the two that I'm interested in for this race. Affordale Fury, yeah, we've got him in our 10 to follow. Put him up as one for the 4 mile or Irish National. I haven't seen anything to change my mind on that on his debut, other than maybe he could be a shade better than that and he could end up in the Browns there. Just the respective stable form just tempers enthusiasm just a little bit. I think Mead's won from 14 in the last fortnight. Devil's Coachman ran a shocker last week. Paul Nolan's not very much better there. He's none from 12. So that just tempers enthusiasm a little. Yeah, as for the horses, Affordale Fury, we like him. He did it well first time out, jumped a little sticky. He's entitled to improve from that. Sandor Clegane, yeah, he had a spin over 2 mile last time and he'll be ready to rock and roll now, stepping up in trip. And he's 3 from 4 at Punchestown, so clearly goes well here. These two, they were only a neck between them. In the Albert Bartlett, they came 2nd and 3rd respectively. Affordale Fury came 2nd. Neck between them. I expect there won't be too much between them here. Just Affordale Fury, like I said before, he's a tough little bugger, isn't he? And just if it comes down to a scrap after the last, I'd want him on my side, you know. So he'll be the main bet here. I'd be saving on Sandor Clegane. And because the form ties in so closely, I like the reverse forecast here. I think if one of these finishes in front a flooring porter. The other fella shouldn't be far behind, so there's a good chance they both do. It's kind of related, isn't it? I like that angle. So, yeah, I'll be doing the reverse forecast too here. There's only one bookie's priced this up so far. The prices are a little surprising. I think they've got it a little bit wrong, but I can't get on with them. They've put Flooring Porter in as favourite at 11-4. I thought he'd be a fair bit shorter than that, to be honest. They've got Affordale Fury second in at 7-2. I don't mind that. I think I'd be happy enough to take 7-2. Sandor Clegane, they've got 11-2. That looks a bit on the big side to me. I'd have these as first three favourites. I think they've got Favre de Champeau splitting Affordale Fury and Sandor Clegane. I think when the market sorts itself out, you'll see Flooring Porter favourite, Affordale Fury, and Sandor Clegane I think will be disputing second favourite. Yeah, I'd be more than happy to take 7-2 and 11-2 on these, but I can't get on at the moment. Yeah, and that's that. $158. Ida's boys entered here. This is kind of a little personal thing to me, this, I guess, because I kind of put him up or nearly put him up a couple of times. I did actually back him in that Wexford race last week, and he went non-runner, and Bron, the favourite, disappointed. So I kind of feel compelled to go in again here if he runs. And I'd give him a chance. He does go well fresh. That first run last season, he was really impressive. It's, a tidy enough race, but I think you get a nice sort of price on him. And yeah, I'll have a little on Ida's boy, I think, just a little bit on him. Like I say, he goes well fresh. They've took him out 3 or 4 times now, so it kind of suggests to me they're trying to get it right. And first time up, he's had some issues. It might be just the time to catch this fella. Very impressive first time up last year. Yeah, I'll probably have a little bit on him. Yeah, cracking card this at Punchestown. 235. 2 mile grade 1 Morgiana hurdle. Yes, just looks a penalty kick for State Man, doesn't it? I like State Man. I think he's a classy horse. I think he's possibly a little bit underrated just because Constitutional battered him, but he'd batter anything, I think. Because of that, maybe he's a little underrated. And yeah, 1-3, to be fair, if you like your short prices, doesn't look the worst bet in the world. I think, I won't personally be backing him myself at 1-3 in a single anyway. But I'd imagine you'll go more 1-4 anyway. So we'll just come back to him. But yeah, he should take this. He should take this well. Huntington, 12.28 maiden hurdle. Tell her the name. Came out last Sunday, didn't it? We put this up. It was nicely back 2s into 6-4-ish. We like that for me, Django Bay. Pulled it out, and the favourite, Kemble Brewery, disappointed. Yeah. This looks a much easier race. Nicky's got one in there, Lucky Palace. I think we'll do well to get odds against though here. So yeah, I like that form with Django Bay. We talked about this horse a few times now. Looks a good thing here to me. If you can get odds against, that's a stand-alone bet. I think the likelihood is it may be put in between sort of 4 to 6 and 1 to 2. So what I'd suggest is putting him in a double with State Man. Say these are 1 to 3 and 1 to 2, that pays even money. It'll be somewhere around there. And that looks a fairly solid double to me. I'd be happy with that. I'll take the early prices because I think they'll both be well supported. I can see State Man, like I said, ending up more like 1 to 4. And Tell Her the Name, I expect that'll be well supported too. But yeah, that looks a pretty rock solid double to me, those two. Unless we get odds against, then yeah, we'll just back it on its own. I suggest that might be unlikely. Haydock and Ascot to me, I'd tread carefully. I don't know. I ain't got a bet. Yeah. Opening race, 12.05. Primoz was impressive last time. But Bowens Park looks useful too. I wouldn't really like to split them. I'd imagine they'll be the front two in the market. And yeah, I wouldn't be able to easily split those two. So I think that'll be just a watching race. 220, the old fixed brush hurdle, 3 mile handicap. Bookies aren't taking any chances here, are they? They've got the right two, I think, at the front of the market, Crambo and this Slate Lane. I wouldn't like to split these two. I think they're the right two at the front of the market. I think one of them will probably win. Wouldn't like to say which one. I just don't think it's quite the value there. The 3 o'clock, 3 mile, 1.5 grade 1 Betfair Chase. This race has battered my head a little. Brave Man's Game, I don't know why he's here. I don't know why Harry's not on him. I don't like it. I just don't like it. I mean, his big target's the King George, isn't it? I don't know what he's doing here. It wouldn't shock me if he got pulled out here. We'll see. Protectorate, we know Protectorate is going to be drilled for this. He's going to be bang on here. And at sort of 2 to 1, I was thinking maybe I'd take a chance on this fella. But Skelton's horses, he's getting the odd winner there. But I kind of watched Lamilos yesterday with a view to this. I thought, right, if Lamilos goes in here, which he should do, he should be winning this, I thought. Well, at least go very close. Then we'll maybe take a chance on Protectorate here. And Lamilos, he just, travelled really well till 2 out and then just stopped to a walk. Which is what they do, isn't it, when the stable's not quite right. So that just worries me a little bit. Korak Rambler always needs his first run. I'd give him that, but still, 4 in a race. I think he's going to need another run. Yeah, the race for him, I think maybe the Cotswold Chase, given his record at Cheltenham, that turns into a big sort of dour staying race often. I think that would be suiting him. But I couldn't have him here. Royal Piguet, Venetia's flying, isn't she? Good Haydock form. Wouldn't be putting a line through him here. But yeah, I'll just file this under too difficult and just see what happens. I'd imagine I can imagine Paul saying to Darrell here, look, kind of, potter around. Don't put him into the teeth of the race till, somewhere after the second last. If you can win it, but don't get into a war, because surely you don't want to leave the King George here. So I can kind of see him either winning well on the snaff or kind of not. I don't think he wants to get into a war here. I don't like it as a prep for the King George, I don't, unless he can just go there and win it on the snaff. We'll see. But yeah. And then Ascot. Don't get any better here. 132, mile 5, grade 2, 1965 chase. Shishkin, Picdory. Shishkin, slam Picdory here. Course distance last year. Should do again, but do you want to be taking odds on for Shishkin? I couldn't do it myself. Don't want to back against him because he should win this. Nicky's in hot form, he's flying in here. I think Shishkin will take this, but no, I could not be backing him at odds on either. And it gets even harder. We get to the 205, 2.5 mile near enough, grade 2 coral hurdle. I'd lay the lot of these. I don't like any of them. But something's got to win. I'll let someone better than me figure that one out. Yeah, that's not a race. So I think Haydock and Ascot look very trappy to me, and I'm happy to just watch. Give these a watching brief. So Friday morning, I ain't got the decks for Sunday again, but I've kind of gone through these. Punchestown, 12:10, 2 mile 6 maiden hurdle, standout horse entered is Tully Hill. If he runs here and you can get 4 to 6 or better, that's a bet. Expect he'll take this. Yeah, not much more to say on that. There is a horse entered here, Lisnagar Fortune. This is in I tend to follow. This was kind of like our darkest horse. He's entered up a couple of times over the weekend. I'd be interested to see how he goes with a view to the 3 mile handicap hurdles. I think he could be something to go to war with in them races. This is his third run, so he'll have had, he's running for his handicap mark. He was very free last year. He needs to learn to race. First time up, he's just an horse to watch, but he could be very interesting when he steps up to 3 mile handicap hurdles. 155, 2 mile grade 2, Craddockstown novice chase. This looks a penalty kick, really, for Imagine. Again, 4 to 6 or better. He's a bet. I think that's probably optimistic though. He could be putting 2 to 5 or something here, and he should be taking this. Impressive last time. Potential there maybe for a Tully Hill Imagine double, possibly. Yeah. And the 2:30 race, 2.5 mile, grade 1, John Durkin, and we see the return of Galloping Deschamps. Here he is. Beautiful picture, that. When our fellow ramblers Kev, he gave me that. This was kind of my highlight of last Cheltenham. I expect a few of you's highlights as well. Beautiful horse, stunning horse. He's the horse everybody wants. Cheers Kev, top bloke. He kind of, went to Cheltenham, novice hurdle, went to Cheltenham, novice chase, went to Cheltenham, Gold Cup, more or less. That's the horse everybody wants, and this fella did it. You know, yeah, love him. I do. I know I might have sounded a bit negative on him for the Gold Cup, but he does for me have a couple of questions to answer, and it's just a kind of price thing, 2-1, I think, short. So we've kind of sort of covered the up and coming ones coming through, haven't we, against him? But we've left enough room there to smash into him if it looks the right thing to do nearer the time. As for this race, he should be taking this. Fast or slow? He's not that fast. He's not really slow, but 2.5 mile round here. Yeah, Galloping's got a ton more speed, hasn't he, than this fella. We like him, we do. We got a point on him at 20s for the Gold Cup. But he may not even be coming second here, I don't know. If he gets within 10 length of Galloping, I'd say he's run a fine race. Because for me, I think Galloping might be straighter for this as well. I know generally, I said, didn't I, last video, I think generally Willie's strings, like where Gordon's were a month ago, in terms of fitness. But this fella, he's got this race and then the Irish Gold Cup February. So he can get him, I'm not saying bang on, but I'd imagine Willie'll have him fairly straight for this. Then he's got plenty of time to let him down again and build him up for the big spring races. Whereas fast or slow, I think this is very much a kind of stepping stone onto Christmas and the big 3 mile race at Christmas at Leopardstown. So in terms of fitness, I think Galloping might be a little straighter here as well. And he's got a lot more pace. He should be winning this and winning it well. As for the others, this appreciate it. He's in here. We put him in the 10 to follow as well, but as a Thyestes horse, which Willie doesn't seem to have on his mind at the minute. It did start hanging left a bit last year. This is right-handed around Punchestown. Might not be ideal. Steering for Longe, if there's going to be a turn up here, a couple of years ago, 2-3 years ago, he looked like he might down the mighty Allaho in this race. Maybe one day it'll all fall for him, and but you couldn't really be backing him, could you? But I think he's, no. If there's going to be a turn up here, maybe him. So yeah, Galloping should be taking this and taking it well. But 2 to 5 around that mark, I couldn't really be backing him, and I just wouldn't really put him in the short price sort of doubles and trebles just for that reason that I'd never take odds on for a horse that's won the Gold Cup on his seasonal reappearance the year after, just on that basis. I think we'll know more for him after the Irish Gold Cup. That's when we'll know where we are. But yeah, it'd be brilliant to see him back. So then on to Cook. 12:35 race, Ballyburn's entered up. Now, I'd be kind of surprised if we see him here. And I'll tell you why. I think Willie wants to run this fella in the Ballymore. But to run him in the Ballymore, he's got to learn to settle. I think for that reason you'd want Paul on his back first time up. I think I'd have thought that were quite important for his first run over hurdles to have Paul there on his back, try and settle him and teach him to race. So I wouldn't be surprised if we don't get to see Ballyburn here. And maybe Tullyhill is also entered. Maybe this is where Tullyhill will slot in which case, I expect he'll go out, make all, and again, 4 to 6 about, we'd be taking that. So he could still be. Either way, I think we'll probably see Tullyhill, and I think he'll be maybe one to put in a double, we imagine. Yeah. If they can't get Ballyburn to settle, then it will be Supreme. But I think he'd prefer to get him to settle, teach him to race, and run him in the Ballymore. We've got 2 points on him, Ballymore at 8, haven't we? 2:20. 2 more 5 beginners, mares beginners. Halka de Taber is here. Hopefully she runs here. Also Night and Day is entered here. We'll cover Night and Day first, right? I've always thought this Night and Day looked a chaser. I kind of had half an eye on her all last season for this mare's chase for this year. She's an impressive first time up, looks a strong galloping type, but then went to Fairy House and just pulled up for no obvious reason. Just really disappointing there. Pardon me. She ran alright at Punchestown, 2 mile, sort of little outpace, stayed on nice, suggesting very much she wanted to step up in trip again. And pulled up, didn't get round on a final start, although she did have excuses there. She struck into herself. I love Halka. I won't fall over if Night and Day won this. But saying that, Halka de Taber, I'm so excited to see this horse over fences, stepping up, the extra 5 furlongs, stepping up half a mile will suit her down to the ground. I think, I've spoke plenty about this horse. I'm excited to see her. As for Cheltenham, she'd be the one, she's got the solid course form at Cheltenham as well. If you didn't see the video, I put her up a few videos back now. I think it says 25 to 1 Cheltenham selection or something. I've got the link to a point there where she jumped well and she won well. She won by half the track. I'm really excited for in this mare's chase. And this is the top up, right? We'll have a lash at this horse, right? We've got 3 points on her at 25s for the mare's chase. Now, if she's declared to run here, we'll make that 5. We'll have another 2 points on her for the mare's chase at 25 to 1. So that'll be 5 points, 25 to 130 points back. That's like trebling her outlay or something. She's the right price to have a pop at. And it's the right race as well, because you look at this mare's chase, we had a point on Allegory at 6s. That should have maybe been 2 or 3 points, but she sets the standard here. She sets the bar. We've got Dino Blue, could possibly come into it. For me, she's got a stamina to prove, but she could possibly come into it. So Horse Apples away. The connections don't seem to be too interested in the mare's chase, but she could come into it. But bar that, there's nothing there. I mean, in the likely absence of Impervious, it's a very thin race, this. there's not much depth to it all. You'd imagine it'll be single figure field on the day, and there'll only be 3 or 4 there with a realistic chance. Very much hoping this girl will be one of them. And at 25 to 1, she's just worth having a pop at, she is. So if she's declared here, that 25s might evaporate over the next day or two. Yeah, she's exciting. I think she's got that toughness, as I mentioned before. I think she's made for this mare's chase. Yeah, I'm excited to see her. Alka to Taber. So yeah, well, if it goes wrong, it goes wrong. You only live once, don't you? It's not like, it's not the end of the world. But yeah, I think it's the right race and she's the right price. A novice will come into this mare's chase. They've took 2 out of the last 3. The other one was Ellie May, who finished runner-up for Willie the year before. So that's the kind of allegory profile there. We got her covered. May have a little top-up on her next week, we'll see. The other 2 were novices, and they came from the Mares Novice Hurdle the year before as well. I think a novice will come into this race, and I'm very much hoping, this is the one. I'll get it up there. Beyond that, the 250 race, 2 mile 5 handicap chase. Intriguingly, En Beton is entered up here. Jumped awesome on his fence chase debut, then went wrong, and we hadn't seen him out for a good while now. He's had, missed all the last season. He's off handicap mark 140 here. If he lines up, yeah, I'm going to be interested in him. He could potentially be a bet. You'd want 3 to 1 or bigger, and I'll be just interested to see what the vibes are for this horse, like, what Willie's saying. If the vibes are good and the price is right, I might have a bet on him. But we'll see. And that is that. Yeah. Brilliant racing again this weekend. Should be a good ride. Enjoy it. I hope you find some winners. We'll be back on Monday to look back at it all. And it's going to be 2 flasks again. It is. There's a lot going on. Okay. Right, have a great weekend. Back a few winners. I'll see you Monday.